Okay, so we are at question 13. So this question 13, the question is now asking you to estimate the time whereby x and y covers the same distance from O. Okay, so there's a keyword is from O, and since we are talking about distance, meaning that we need to look at the area underneath the graph. Okay, so this is the graph on top. I have copied into my paintbrush. So from O, okay, so we have to look at the area from O onwards. So if you look at let's take this interesting point whereby they intersect. You can see that from 0 to 60, x definitely covers more distance than y, as you can see from this extra bit of area under the line x. So we know that from 0 to 60, x has covered much more distance than y because of this extra bit of area here represented here. So you already know that option A cannot be the answer. Now what is interesting is that after the 60-second mark, you can see that the y line here, so the area under the y line after the 60 mark is actually bigger than the area under the x line here. So actually what the question is asking you is that when will the y line covers more area, that means it will balance off this yellow color here. So this yellow color here represented the distance that x is leading. So let me represent this with a cartoon so that you could understand this in an easier manner. So I remove this bit here. I will use yellow to represent x, and then I will use maybe blue to represent y. So what happened here from 0 to 60 is that x must be leading over here, and then y have only covered until here, okay, at the 60. So this is a snapshot of time equals to 60, and this extra bit of lead distance is represented by this yellow area here. Now what happened is that at the 60-second mark, suddenly, so at this point, so suddenly what happened at 60-second mark is that x suddenly slow down. Slow. Okay, I'm going to use orange to represent this. So it will suddenly slow down. So from here to here, let's call this mysterious spot the spot whereby they meet. Okay, so I think it's somewhere here. Okay, so this particular area covered by x after t equals to 60 is represented by this orange color area. So far so good. Now in order for y to catch up with x, it definitely need to accelerate, and as you can see here, after t equals to 60, the speed of y is indeed higher than x. So I will represent this bit by green. So meaning that at this t equals to 60, suddenly y would go very fast. And he need to basically cover this much. Okay, so basically now we want to have a green area that is larger than the combined, not larger, the green area must be the same as the combined area of yellow and orange. So you need to have a green. Okay, and don't forget when we are talking about green, right, this green will cover into the orange area, right, because that is also area under the graph, meaning that actually this orange here and this bit of green here, they will just balance off each other. It doesn't really matter in our comparison. What matters is that we want to know this area, this blue color area has to be as big as this yellow area. And you can see that even from here, between 60 and 80, between 60 and 100, which is around 80 here, the blue cannot the blue area cannot grow as fast to cover this yellow. It doesn't really look like the blue is equals to the yellow. So meaning that it has to be at around 90 seconds so that this blue color area may have a chance to cover this entire yellow area. So because of that, we can conclude that your answer is D.